He did not laugh because it was polite, and he did not laugh late, the way most people do when they are still assembling the joke in their head while their face performs the reaction in advance. He laughed at the fourth word. The punchline was the ninth. Dr. May Osai stopped talking and looked at him the way she looked at instrument readings that did not match the model. "You don't know how that ends," she said. "The one about the airlock technician and the 3-day silence," Tarn said. "Ends with him marrying the silence. You told it like the silence proposed first." May had not told that joke, in that exact phrasing, to another living person in 6 years. The station was called Corin's Reach, a relay platform strung between 2 shipping corridors that no longer carried much traffic, staffed by a rotating crew of 9, and for the last 4 months. One Ithran liaison named Tarn who had arrived with a diplomatic mandate nobody could fully explain, and a habit of finishing people's sentences that everyone else found irritating and May found privately unbearable for a different reason. He did not finish other people's sentences. He finished hers. Only hers, and only the ones that mattered, which was worse. Formal Ithran correspondence, translated literally, reads like a species that discovered sincerity and then refused to ever use it again without 3 layers of qualification. Tarn's official transfer notice had described his posting as an extended observational courtesy, duration indeterminate, purpose, cultural continuity. Nobody on the station had asked him to define cultural continuity. May had not asked either, because she had learned 4 months ago, the first week he arrived, that asking Tarn a direct question got you an answer that was too complete, delivered without any of the hedging a person uses when they are still deciding how much to say. He had looked at her across the mess hall on his second day and said, "Your coffee has been cold for 11 minutes. You drink it anyway. You did that in 2081 as well, 3 cups, all cold, all finished." May had not been on this station in 2081. She had been 11 light years away, on a different platform with a different crew, most of whom she did not speak to anymore because most of them were not alive to speak to. She had put her cup down very carefully and walked out, and Tarn had not followed her, which she noticed, and which she resented for reasons she did not examine. The joke about the airlock technician belonged to a season of her life. She had sealed the way you seal a compartment after a hull breach. Not because the room is gone, but because the air in it is not coming back, and going in to look for it kills you. She had told that joke on a station called Perrin Station 4, to a maintenance chief named Oren Vasquez, who had laughed too hard and spilled recycled coffee on a duty log. And 6 weeks later, Perrin Station 4's forward section had depressurized in 11 seconds during a scheduled inspection that should have taken 4 minutes, and instead took every person in that section, including Oren, who she had been half in love with and had never told, because she was 29 and thought there would be time. She had not told the joke since. She had, without deciding to, stopped being a person who told jokes at all, in the specific sense of offering something small and unguarded to someone who might laugh, and then might later become a name she couldn't say out loud. She did not know how Tarn knew the joke existed. She had never recorded it. She had told it exactly once to one person who was dead. "You keep archives," she said to him 4 days later, in the observation corridor where the running lights ran amber for human comfort on one side and a cold blue teal on the other, because the corridor split the station's 2 life support philosophies and nobody had ever bothered to unify them. "Personnel logs, audio." "Not personnel logs," Tarn said. Perrin Station 4 kept an ambient recording loop in the mess hall for acoustic diagnostics. Structural engineers use it to model stress fractures from vibration patterns before they become visible ones. The recordings are archived for 40 years by regulation and never reviewed by anyone, because nobody reviews 40 years of mess hall ambient noise. "You reviewed it." "I reviewed 12 hours of it, looking for something else." He did not offer what. She did not ask, because she had learned that the things Tarn withheld, he withheld with a precision that meant asking twice would only get her the same 11 words again, unchanged. "You found me telling a joke to a dead man." "I found you laughing," Tarn said, and something in the way he said it made her go still, the specific stillness of a person whose legs have decided, independently of the rest of her, that this is not a conversation she can walk through standing up. She sat down on the observation bench because the alternative was continuing to stand while something recalibrated behind her sternum. "You laughed at your own joke before he did, 0.8 of a second before. I have listened to that 0.8 of a second 11 times. Why? Because it is the only recording of you laughing that exists in any archive I have access to, Tarn said. Every other file with your voice in it is professional. Reports, distress calls, 2 commendation ceremonies where you did not smile. I was looking for something else in that recording 6 months ago before I had a posting here, before I had a reason connected to you at all. I found your laugh instead. I have not stopped listening to it since, in the sense that a person does not stop listening to a sound they have decided to keep. The formal reassignment notice arrived on a Tuesday, in the same bureaucratically airless language as everything Ithran officialdom produced. Observational courtesy concluded, effective the 14th, transport scheduled, no extension protocols available under current cultural liaison mandate. 9 days. May read it twice, standing in the amber half of the corridor, and felt something she recognized with unwelcome clarity as the specific grief of watching a door start to close before she decided whether she wanted to walk through it. She found Tarn in the observation bay on the blue teal side, watching the shipping lane that no longer carried much traffic. 9 days, she said. 8 now. The notice was drafted 2 days before it reached you. Ithran administrative timestamps reflect drafting, not delivery. It is a habit that has caused 4 documented diplomatic incidents and 0 corrections. That's not what I meant. I know, Tarn said, and this time he did not finish her sentence, which frightened her more than every time he had. He let the silence run the length of the observation bay, the same silence, she realized, that the airlock technician joke had been about. And she understood, with the flat clarity of a person recognizing a shape she had drawn herself without noticing, that she had been telling that joke for 6 years as a way of practicing an ending she had never let herself have. Tell me the rest of what you found in that recording, she said. Not the laugh, what else? Tarn was quiet for 4 seconds, which for him was a long time, long enough that she counted it. Ambient recordings pick up more than laughter. I have a partial transcript of a conversation between you and Chief Vasquez, 11 days before the depressurization, in which you told him you thought there would be time. I have never told you that I have it. I am telling you now because I am leaving in 8 days, and I do not want to be a second recording you keep and do not play. She did not answer him that day. She answered him on the 6th day in the mess hall at the same table, and what she said was not a speech, because she had spent 6 years learning that speeches are for people who still believe in endings that arrive on schedule. What she said was, "Ask me the joke again." You never finished it, Tarn said. You stopped at the 4th word. I know how it ends. I've known for 6 years. I just didn't know if I wanted to keep hearing it end that way. She took a breath that cost her something visible. The airlock technician marries the silence, but the joke's not really about the technician. It's about the person who waited 3 days to say anything and figured out too late that waiting doesn't make the thing you're not saying smaller. Tarn did not laugh this time. He watched her finish it, all the way to the end, for the first time in 6 years, and when she was done he said, "That is a better ending than the one in the recording." It's the same ending. It is the same words, he said. It is not the same ending. The first one you were performing a joke you had decided to stop feeling. This one you finished it looking at me. The transport left on schedule 8 days later, because Ithran administrative mandates did not bend for reasons that were not yet filed in triplicate. But the mandate that replaced it was filed the morning before departure, by Tarn, requesting an extension to the observational courtesy on the specific grounds of cultural continuity, ongoing, indeterminate duration. The exact phrase from his original transfer, resubmitted with one addition. A secondary designation, a joint field study, requiring 2 names instead of 1. May read the amended filing over his shoulder in the observation bay, the amber and the blue teal both falling across the page in equal measure for the first time she could remember. You used my recording, she said. I used the 0.8 of a second, Tarn said. I told them it was the most significant acoustic anomaly on the station, which is true. I have been listening for 6 months for a version of that sound that isn't archived. I would like to be there when it happens. She did not laugh at that, not right away. But she did not stop him from staying, either, and later, much later, when she told the joke again, to him, for the second time all the way through without the 6-year pause built into it. He laughed at the 4th word again, and this time she laughed with him at the same moment, both of them 0.8 of a second early together.